Good afternoon, here's Susanne Visch from Visch Designs with another live video feed in the Facebook group Visch World of Fibercrafts on Facebook, of course. Today is March 14th, 2018, and I'm looking forward to talking to you today. I was thinking of talking about yarn and yarn composition, the materials it is used of. It is made of, and well, of course, what my take on it is, and what the types of yarns are that I love to use in my designs. Hey, hello, Marjolein, good to see you. Yes, yarn. Well, as you may be aware, I mostly design and make shawls, lace shawls, sometimes also a combination of stockinette with garter stitch, but often there are designs that look their best after they've had a very severe blocking. I like to stretch them out quite a lot, so you have to make sure with that type of designs to use yarn that it does its best in that respect. So that already says that acrylic yarns really don't do well, because well, acrylic you can't really wet block, which means that if you wet it, give it a wash. Hey, hi Tanya, good to see you here. If you try to wet block acrylic projects, of course it evens out stitches. But if you just stretch it out and it dries up and then you unpin it, well, it just bounces back. So it really doesn't do it for the purpose of stretching out lace or things like that. So in that respect, acrylic doesn't work. Hey, hello Mary, good to see you. Of course, you can, well, what they say, kill acrylic, which basically means that you heat it up by means of steam in the shape that you want, and which makes sure that the acrylic properties themselves change. But it really is a very tight balance. Hi Rosa, good to see you. Because if you heat it up too much, then you can scorch it, or it loses all drape, becoming limp as a noodle, and well, it can be done, but it's tricky. Well, if you're talking about cotton yarns, well, cotton is of course wonderful. It's traditionally used a lot for things like lace covers and curtains and tablecloths and things like that. Doilies, of course, if you're doing them. So cotton can be blocked, good, very well, but it really isn't my favorite because it has no stretch, and yarns without stretch, well, they're really killing my wrists. When I was at university, I had to do a lot of technical drawing, AutoCAD drawings, and it really made my wrists hurt a lot. So I've switched to even using my mouse on the other side of my laptop because of it still. So I try to avoid working with cotton yarns for that very reason. On the other side of the spectrum, wool, all types of wool, really. I love it. It can be blocked. It is lovely, elastic, stretchy, and I use it almost in all of my projects. Most of my designs are done in fingering weight yarns. Marjolein is making a comment. Let's read it. Can you make a video picture tutorial about blocking? Because I really need lessons in it, the form the project needs. Well, I do already have one photo tutorial on my website about blocking an asymmetric sideways knit shawl, and the basic premise of how to block is pretty well explained in it. So I can put the link for that down in the comments later on. But of course, if you need a specific shape and how to go about it when blocking, just let me know, and I can perhaps do one in the future. Wool yarn, yeah. Most of my projects are in fingering weight yarn because, well, I just like that particular weight a lot. And most accessible in that weight are, of course, sock yarns, which are usually about 75% wool, any kind of wool, merino or whatever. But the remaining 25% is usually something like nylon or polyamide, an artificial fiber to make sure that the yarn wears pretty well, meaning that you can walk around in it quite a lot before it drops down to the bare thread and develops holes. The nylon, however, I found out, doesn't do that well with blocking either. I mean, if you finish blocking and you get your project of the blocking mats, and well, at first it's perfect. But with sock yarns containing nylon, I've noticed that after a while, a couple of months, they cause the project to bounce back somewhat in its pre-blocked state. So for that reason, I'm currently trying to use more fingering weight yarns that don't contain any nylon. So 100% wool is great. Wool cotton blends, lovely. Wool and silk is very nice. Wool and alpaca, or just alpaca and silk. Well, sometimes people say that alpaca doesn't have any drape and lacks the stretchiness of wool. And to some extent, really, that's absolutely true. But if you're making a lace shawl, then I find that one, it blocks very well, and two, it's less hard on my wrists than cotton yarn is. So I really haven't got a problem working with alpaca, even when it's blended with silk. So yeah, that's basically where I'm currently at. I like the natural fibers most, but of course, when you make something for the kids, I go for the acrylics because, well, I just have to be able to wash it often. Especially with my youngest, has a tendency to smear peanut butter around the sleeve, so it really has to go in the washing machine, and washing by hand really doesn't cut it. So, oh, thank you, Jackie. Well, this sweater, it really is a very special one. It was made by my grandmother on mother's side, and so it not only means it's very old. It must be at least 45, 50 years old. But also because I never actually met my grandmother because she died a couple of months after I was born, and my mother has kept all the sweaters she knit for a very, very long time. It was only after it was just a couple of years back that she went through all the things that she had stored, and came to me with this very big pile of sweaters, and asked if there were a few I would be interested in wearing. And well, this was actually the only one that that was wearable for me, and I must admit it's well, besides that it's gorgeous with this very intricate cable work and things like that, but it's also so gorgeously made and warm. So it's when I wear it, it's very special to me because, well, it's some sort of a hug from a grandma I've never actually met. So yes, it isn't. It's a very special sweater. My grandmother also made another sweater that my mother kept, and it was a very lovely colorwork one in all kinds of blues. It wasn't wearable for me, but I just couldn't throw it away. So what to do? So I decided to make it into a surprise for my mom. I felted it down, deconstructed it, felted the separate pieces, and I was planning to make a cushion cover from it. But when I was getting ready to cut it, I realized, well, I don't know how to sew, and it is just such a unique uh, such a unique material, and I was terrified to all screw it up. So I asked around at Revelry, and I found a very lovely lady here in the Netherlands who actually made the cushion cover from it for me. So it was a very good surprise to be able to give my mom with that particular cushion cover later on, because well, she didn't expect it, and it was something basically that her mom made. So um, well, that's a little side trip. Mary is asking a question. What's your favorite fiber blend for knitting socks? Well, I would say the basic wool and nylon type of yarn, with a nylon content with about 25 to 15%, should make the socks very good wearing. And so yes, I think that's just the basic sock yarn. Some people really prefer some cotton in their socks, but I would be a bit hesitant about it, because it also reduces the amount of stretch, making the fit more important. So there's that. I'm not really much of a sock knitter myself. I've knit a couple of pairs throughout the years, but well, the last pair of socks I tried to knit has been waiting for their final ribbing and bind off for, well, 6 years and counting. So I don't really think I count as a sock knitter. Well, I hope that answers your question, Mary. Okay, I think I've about through my talking material for now. You're very welcome, Mary. Well, if you ever try to knit socks, just do post about it in the group. If you ever need any help, we're here to help you. Okay, well, I think that's it now for this week. If you've got any suggestions for topics to talk about for next week, post about it. Do let me know. I must say that I really enjoy talking to you like this. But just like previous weeks, I will upload the video to YouTube, and also post several links that I talk about. I don't think I really did this time, but well, I will review it. I will upload it to YouTube. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do. Then you will also be automatically notified when a new video will be uploaded. So until next time, have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.